If you apply for a job, 9 times out of 10, the company is going to scope you out on LinkedIn. And so how are you setting yourself apart from those other people?
Bring valuable content to other professionals. LinkedIn has really tempered down on, inspirational quotes and goofy things, even though they draw our interest. That's not the goal of the platform.
Welcome to the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. Each episode shares transformative insights and advice from members of Forbes Councils, a group of invitation-only communities for successful executives and entrepreneurs. This is Inside Forbes Councils.
Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. I'm your producer, Stephen Ganoza. Last week, Mike Schmidt of Dovetail.com shared some insights on the metrics that drive influencers on platforms such as Instagram. But let's say you're not an influencer. Let's say you just want a new job or want to connect for professional or business reasons. Yes, this week, we move from Instagram to LinkedIn. The best estimates out there is that over 500 million users are on LinkedIn, with 150 million in the United States. That's a lot of profile pages. How does one even stand out in a sea of 500 million fish? Well, today Forbes Coaches Council's members, Dr. Josh Luke and Lucretia Davis, will share their thoughts on how posting, sharing, and commenting on content is how you get the best results from the platform. If you're just using it as an electronic resume and job board, then you're not even scratching the surface. Lucretia Davis of Lucretia Davis & Company.
LinkedIn rewards you for being active on the platform. When I talk to job seekers about leveraging LinkedIn in their searches, I find that most people just have a profile. That's it. And past that, having their electronic resume or what have you, they don't know much about how LinkedIn could work for them.
Move past the electronic resume. Sure, the concept makes sense. A profile needs to be found, and putting content out there puts you out there and calls attention to you.
Most people, when they think about creating content on LinkedIn, if they're not an entrepreneur, they may feel like, well, why? What benefit is that going to provide to me? But if you apply for a job, 9 times out of 10, the company is going to scope you out on LinkedIn. And so how are you setting yourself apart from those other people? If you're someone who is sharing value with the community and you may be very early on in your career, maybe you're someone who's in college, but, just by putting yourself out there like that, you may be, looked at as a leader, and that may compel a hiring manager wanting to meet you or reach out to you versus someone who, just has a profile. A lot of people are learning about the advanced search function on LinkedIn, where you could search for hiring managers, you can search for certain people at companies or what have you. So when the recruiters and hiring managers are searching for candidates in LinkedIn, they use certain keywords to, search for certain candidates. And the candidates that come up on those top pages of results aren't the people that have the coolest, most beautifully written profiles. Those are the people that are active on there. So again, the more active you are, the more visible you are on the site.
Over 500 million people on LinkedIn, yet it is estimated only 3 million people regularly share content. Well, that seems like an easy way to stand out from the rest.
If you are, let's say, a sales leader, you may be sharing the best practices to build a connection or build a relationship with a client, or, how to sell without selling, just pretty much providing subject matter knowledge to people that are in that industry. When you're in your job search, they see that you're doing something like this further adds to your brand. If you're someone in HR working as a hiring manager or something like that, you may be able to share what you expect as an HR leader, or some of the experiences you've had with people on interviews and things like that. That is building a brand. That is adding value to the community and not just, your job.
LinkedIn is understood to be a professional platform, though. Content, therefore, needs to be professional. But that doesn't mean it can't be personal, too.
I shared something about doing laundry and I turned that into a post. One day I was procrastinating. And then the day that I finally decided to do it, the freight elevator to the laundry room in my building was broken. So I couldn't do it. I was actually relieved. It's like, oh, I have an excuse not to do laundry. And I was telling the door guy on the way out, I was like, you guys ruined my vibe. I was going to do my laundry today. And he's like, well, you didn't want to do that laundry. He's like, you could actually go around to the other side of the building and go back around. And I was like, I'm not doing all that. And he's like, well, you don't want to do laundry then. And so that to me, it was a learning experience. Like, wow, you do really make excuses for things that you truly don't want to do. That's something that people can relate to. I know it's about laundry. What did you learn from it? What did you gain from it? Like, are these just words, or are you position it in a way where somebody could learn a lesson from it?
All right, let's take a quick break. If you're doing laundry, now would be a great time to move to laundry.
Are you a successful executive or entrepreneur with insights to share? Learn more about our invitation-only communities at ForbesCouncils.com. Forbes Councils members have the opportunity to collaborate with fellow business leaders to overcome challenges and create new opportunities. Members also have access to support benefits that help them save time and money, and a platform, Community Voice, on Forbes.com, through which they can amplify their voices and exchange ideas. See if you qualify at ForbesCouncils.com.
Today we're talking about the importance of posting content on LinkedIn, which can sound as overwhelming and time-consuming as laundry, but like laundry, it's necessary because content may give you a leg up on LinkedIn. Dr. Josh Shaluk, the founder and CEO of Health Wealth, knows a thing or two about LinkedIn.
Hi, it's Dr. Josh Luke here, founder and CEO of the not-for-profit Health Wealth, and we are America's healthcare affordability authority, teaching American families and businesses how to reduce their healthcare spending. I was the keynote speaker at the inaugural Masters of LinkedIn Summit in Los Angeles in 2018. It was quite an honor to do that.
If you're not a great writer, you may be in luck. While historically content creation on LinkedIn has centered around writing posts or longer form articles, Dr. Josh Luke says that is changing.
LinkedIn for years was well known for what we call long form media, and long form media is probably better just known as a news story, just like you'd read in a newspaper where somebody sits down and they write about a topic, and it's a topic that requires a little more detail than they allow within their messaging and their posts. And of course, when we talk about short form posts here in a minute, I think the number of characters that LinkedIn allows is 1,300 for a short form media post. So when you're talking about doing long form, you're talking about essentially attaching a story to a short form post. But what happened in 2017 is LinkedIn changed their platform because they wanted to promote video. So although long form media was very popular for them for years and is still a feature on their platform, they really don't promote it at all. At least they haven't been much in 2018. I'll give you an example of that. LinkedIn actually reached out to me in 2016 and asked if I would start writing long form stories for their Healthcare Pulse. They had a number of different channels that they called Pulse, P-U-L-S-E, and healthcare was one of them. And they'd seen that I had posted stories, whether it was on Forbes websites or on LinkedIn, about healthcare and healthcare affordability. And they'd asked if I would do that more consistently, and they committed to promote those stories to more users on LinkedIn if I did that. So I started writing for LinkedIn's Healthcare Pulse, and my stories were averaging, anywhere from 10 to 20,000 views. And then all of a sudden, one day I realized, I emailed them and said, hey, here's the story I posted today. And after a few days, it still had less than 1,000 views. And so I reached out and said, hey, what's going on? And they said, hey, we actually don't even have pulses anymore. We're not promoting the long form story. We really want to make LinkedIn video kind of the primary go-to form of post or media on our platform for the time being.
LinkedIn wants video, but video comes in many different forms.
Let's talk a little bit about the different types of video and which one's more likely to be successful in terms of getting exposure on LinkedIn. I do a lot of what's called native video, which I literally just hold my phone with my hand, or I click the camera on my computer, or I hold my selfie stick and interview somebody when I'm out at an event speaking. And that's called native video. And LinkedIn really likes that and promotes it heavily. It doesn't remove people from the site, of course, which is always a concern. So native video is something that's very common, and LinkedIn loves to promote it. My suggestion to you is just make sure it's valuable, quality content that is appropriate for the LinkedIn platform. So the other kind of video, there's two other kinds of video, and one is really created video that is edited and produced and posted to LinkedIn. Sometimes you'll see some artwork and some characters and some music out, and there's all kinds of different software packages you can buy that really simplifies this for the user nowadays as well. So I would encourage you to check those out if LinkedIn video is something that interests you. But the third kind of video is third-party video, which is really just a video from YouTube or another website. And frankly, I use all three. But definitely native video gets promoted, just like your website, if you're a business, or any of the social media platforms. They're obviously not going to promote a type of video that requires the user to leave the LinkedIn platform to view it. So this is why third-party video is the least likely video type to get promoted by LinkedIn and picked up by more of their users.
The fact that LinkedIn is positioned as a professional platform can create a hesitancy to post, but that doesn't mean you need a team of copywriters and lawyers and brand marketing experts to review your each and every post.
If you are afraid of posting content on LinkedIn, I challenge you to just do it. And it sounds simple, but this is actually a rule that I put on myself last year, because I used to overthink everything before I posted. But then I learned that the stuff that I overthought didn't get as much engagement as the stuff I just, you know what, I'm just going to post it. And people resonated with it. And I'm like, wow. So every time I would begin to overthink or start to feel like, oh, this isn't good enough because I see other people posting and they posted some amazing things today. Well, okay, my little post, it may not even hit home to anybody. Instead of thinking that when I know that I'm going down that direction, I just post it anyway. Just post it. And it's going to become easier and easier and easier. Yes, it has to be professional content. The subject matter has to be professional. But how you deliver it should be you. So if you're funny, if you're witty, if you're uptight, you're going to attract those people. They're going to resonate with it.
This is a professional platform. It's business. Bring valuable content to other professionals. LinkedIn has really tempered down on inspirational quotes and goofy things, even though they draw our interest. That's not the goal of the platform. The platform is to bring value to other professionals who are seeking it, whether it's in sales or any other type of business. Make sure it's appropriate content that has value. Look at this as, look at the other users as subscribers, potential subscribers. So if you start looking at them like subscribers, it really changes your perspective, and it forces you to bring valuable content. Find your lane, know what your brand is. People will start to follow you. But the tip I really wanted to give you that I believe led to my growth to more than 35,000 followers is I'm a huge believer in short form media. And as I establish my personal brand, I like to take your stories, anybody's stories, and if they have anything to do with healthcare affordability and how Americans can learn to improve their access to basic healthcare services, but also reduce their costs at the same time, I take your story and share it, and I give you credit, and I make 2 or 3 comments in short form that say, hey, love this story. Here's what I read. Here's what you should be focused on when you read it.
I have clients that were so scared of LinkedIn when we first started working together who love it now. And even if you don't want to start out by sharing your own words, right? You don't want to share your own articles, your own status posts and things like that. You can share articles, just post it.
In summary, if you only have a profile on LinkedIn, you're not leveraging the platform for all it's worth. Make sure you stay active, comment, like, and share other people's content. Create content if you can. Keep it professional, but make sure your personality comes through so people feel it's genuine and that it resonates. If you'd like to connect with Dr. Josh Luke, look him up on LinkedIn or go to drjoshluke.com. If you'd like to connect with Lucretia Davis, look her up on LinkedIn or visit lucretiadavis.com. I want to thank both Lucretia Davis and Dr. Josh Luke for contributing their content. We are going to take a holiday break on the Inside Forbes Councils podcast. I hope you all have a wonderful holiday season, a happy new year, and we'll see you back here in 2019.
This has been Inside Forbes Councils. Please be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. If you're a member of the Forbes Councils and would like to participate in our podcast series, please email your member concierge. If you're interested in joining a Forbes Council, learn more at forbescouncils.com.